Hello there, welcome back to the channel. So we just got a new event and with it came Abstract Hina. Now we just got that collab Hina that I talked about in a recent video. She was a dark specific healer and we have, well, 4 of them now of these element specific healers. And, you know, light healing has kind of always been the thing, but we didn't really have a costume that relied on light to get the full effect of their character skill. And in this case, Hina's coming with a revive and yet again a 4-turn regen. So not quite as good as the 5-turn, the 50% that we get from Celeb F66X and Christmas Gale. But the gimmick is unique, revive. And revive really hasn't been a strat in this game because you can't get your no death bonus if you use revive, so that's why I've never really tried to use it. And in arena, I've been tripped up maybe once or twice by someone's defense team with revive, and it's just kind of funny. All of a sudden, someone reappears, like, oh my god, they actually pulled off revive. But I did think of that. I think the main usage for her here is maybe Fate Board, and if you're struggling, you really just can't pass something, then Hina can be reviving you all throughout. Well, let's take a look a little more at this kit here. We have really top tier HP, sky high, so she's tanky, good defense. Again, we have the 4-turn heal with revive if she's wielding a light weapon. We have one of these Gird passives that increases HP of light weapons for the whole party. And then another swiftness. And that 5% unfortunately doesn't make too much of a difference in arena. I wish it did. I definitely have tried mono wind with the new Nier costume. And I kind of tried this out. You'll see in a little bit. We did some testing in arena. Like I said in the title, I pulled her so you don't have to. So should you pull, I would say this is probably a skip for most people. Unless you really love Hina, and that was my case. I just love Hina, and I have kind of resolved to collect all of her costumes. And I got kind of lucky, but at the same time, this paid banner is really nice. The pool is narrowed down to only her and this sword. So if a purple drops, it is going to be one of them, and the rates actually look really good. So it's 4.5 for the sword and 3 for her. Those are pretty high percentages. Okay, let's continue looking at this. So yeah, the swiftness and then the third passive, resilience, HP to the party. So again, just a PvE tanky support healer. And the sword, very high HP. We have a 20% heal for the party. And then a Ripper, which reduces the attack of the enemy. And this is kind of nice. Her dark variant has the same thing. If you're really having trouble, you can sit there and just loop this one skill and stack the attack break on the enemy until, you know, as far as you want to go, 10 stacks. And then at that point, the boss is just kind of tickling you. And then you can get your combos in when you feel safe. And then this is a great passive for this type of weapon, the toughness and haste combination. So pretty cool. I like the costume design a lot. This student costume looking cool. All right, onward. We have the cracked greatsword, and cracked it is. This thing is busted. So really high attack, and it's basically an EX weapon, especially if you're using a 2-hand sword costume, because this first skill is another one of these that relies on using the proper costume to get that light buff. And that's the only drawback, that you can't use it offhand to get that light buff. That's what really makes it like an EX weapon, minus the fact that it doesn't have haste. So that's a 5 times a 100%. That's like an EX weapon. And then this is almost 100% 4-hit. And I would love to get this sword. We don't really have any costumes that are 2-hand sword light specific, but it would go well on Sino Akeha in PvE quests. And I don't know about subjugation. Sometimes we do use proper main hand, but often it's really nice to use off-type main hand to reduce those skill animations. Kind of depends on the costume. So maybe in the future we'll get a light greatsword user, and then you'll wish you had it. Who knows? But I think it adds a little bit of value to the banner, whereas Hina is kind of a skip for most people. This might entice some people to pull. And again, these passives, Lucid, Boon, and Vigor. And then, of course, can be upgraded here for another barrier. Very cool. Then we have another cracked pistol here. This is a 3-star, so really nice kit here. A buff for the party, a burst, and Boon haste combo, but it's 3-star. Everything is lesser value. So once again, like I always say about the 3-star weapons, this is good. If you don't have anything better, it's a placeholder, right? But pretty good if you're lacking. So like I said, my first thought was, okay, fate board, survival, reviving, but what about like arena gimmicks? What about having fun with reviving an arena, maybe tripping some people up? And I could kind of think ahead and think, maybe this won't work. But we did some tests anyway. Like I said, I pulled her so you don't have to. Let's take a look here. So community friend Daniel Bees did some runs against my defense. We'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Enemy forces. First of all, this is a test where I told Daniel to try to snipe someone else, and then we'll see them get revived, and then see how effective it is. So here we go, Demos and Lavanya take out Crow, and Crow is back. Back in the game. Problem is, he comes back, and his skill cooldowns are reset. So everyone else's skills are queued up. He's gonna stand there like a sitting duck. Can't act in AA. Okay, well, what if the snipe fails? All right, so my Gale blocked here, and then countered and took out Demos. But look at this. Because of Hina's character skill, my skills weren't ready. All of Daniel's skills are ready to go. And that's going to be a loss for me.
I got this.
Yeah. So he reset because he was testing. And it came back. Like, okay, what if someone gets sniped and it's a tank team and my defense team can get some skills off? Well, that's how it goes. The Joker takes out Saryu. And his character skills go off. And then the revive. And then you see my Gale's ready with some skills, but Udil absorbs them. And then it's curtains for me.
Thanks.
So unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be very reliable in Arena with revive gimmicks. Even on offense, it doesn't seem like it's just going to be reliable enough. Like, let's say you have a tank and maybe you try a team and you know that they kill your tank in 3 skills. So you wait and use Hina's character skill after those 3 and bring your tank back. But then your tank doesn't have the provoke anymore, and it's just another body to absorb hits. So maybe it could work. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it. And now you know. Okay, these other 2 clips I have here were just kind of showcasing her animations. Here she is in the daily quest. And look at this character skill. That looks so cool. Now look at that. This has been noted before. People noted how slow her auto attack animations are. So I did a little comparison, because apparently the EX Hina costume has faster attack animations. And as far as I know, that's not true for any other character in the game. As far as I know, the other characters in the game are consistent in their auto attack animations across all costumes. Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's take a look here. Basically, all Hina costumes have these really slow swinging animations, except her EX, which is kind of a DPS style costume. The swings are a little faster. So here we go. Here's the new one. Big slow swings. And then a really slow stab. And here's the EX. A lot faster. So that's just something interesting and something to note about Hina. Hopefully we maybe see another DPS costume for her soon, since she's kind of established as a support unit. It would be cool. If you're a fan of Hina, you know? You want someone, maybe one costume that can do damage. The EX is pretty good though. I do say so myself. So once again, we have Hina here, a light element, heal, revive, that you can probably skip, and that's a relief, isn't it? Does anyone even have gems anymore? We just had so many top tier limited banners. Everyone's got to be drained, right? I know a lot of people even pulled for Divine Akeha. And also we have the rerun of Sino Alice, and I talked about that in a post, but I'll reiterate now, all three costumes are still top tier. So good. Saryu being probably my favorite costume in the game. I've gotten so many miles out of her, especially in Arena, and she's great. In PvE, subjugation support, this 60 seconds for a buff is very rare, very useful. And then you can check out my original review of these. It had a showcase in it as well. And that original video, I think, is still good. I watched it the other day. And then, of course, if you love Hina like me and want to pull, then maybe you'll get this great bonus of this awesome great sword. Cool. Those are my thoughts for this banner. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see here, throw a like on it, sub on the channel and all that. It helps me grow. It's so much appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.